You have a time machine. You go back in time to Berlin. The year is 1935. You find yourself in the midst of a roaring crowd applauding a military parade. Right across you is the Fuhrer himself, standing in rapt attention, proudly saluting the battle tanks trundling past the dais. It's a grand spectacle. Thousands of tanks, troops, and aircraft. But then, you notice someone strangely out of place. A British Army Major General? Really? In Germany of all the places? Meet Major General JFC Fuller, British Army. He is a guest of honor. He is here on a personal invitation extended by the Fuhrer. The grand spectacle is over, and Fuller meets none other than Adolf Hitler. Hitler asks him with pride, "I hope you were pleased with your children?" Fuller replied, "Your Excellency, they have grown up so quickly that I no longer recognize them." Of course, they were not referring to any human children. They were referring to the battle tanks. Thousands of them. 1st September 1939, the beginning of the Second World War. German forces invade Poland. Denmark, Norway, Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, France all fall to the rapidly advancing German forces. The secret to German success? Maneuver warfare using a tactic called Blitzkrieg. The battle tanks being the centerpiece, supported by mechanized infantry and aircraft. They were on a roll. Remember the movie Dunkirk? The British Army was on the run and narrowly escaped being massacred. They were moving so rapidly that the British General Staff could not even come up with a plan to defend. Now, the intriguing question: who was the inspiration for Blitzkrieg? It was none other than Mr. JFC Fuller, and the personal invite was a mark of gratitude and appreciation. In the final phases of World War I, Fuller had come up with a brilliant master plan named Plan 1919. The plan was an art and science of armored warfare, and the British Army's response? They disregarded it, casting it aside without a second thought. The reasons? Probably undercooked technology and internal squabbles. On the other side, Hitler swiftly recognized its immense value. By the time 1939 rolled around, Germany was fully equipped and ready to unleash the formidable might of Blitzkrieg. The British let Plan 1919 slip into the shadows of forgotten history. They just did not know where to look. Hitler probably usurped an idea and disrupted the business of warfare. The moral of the story? Your past can unlock the future, but it may not be necessarily yours. Hey there, welcome once again to Deep Dive with Rajesh Ramkumar, and you are in the right place if you want to know everything about high performance leadership and teamwork. I've been a submarine captain, a corporate leader, and presently a corporate coach. So this channel is all about knowing what works and definitely what won't work. So stick around. So in this episode, we will examine why it's a good idea to dig up the past and not necessarily your past. Oh, it's time for the time machine again. So this time around, we will go to the 1970s. The Xerox Corporation made a superb research facility in Palo Alto called PARC. P-A-R-C. In 1973, they designed and put together a personal computer and christened it Xerox Alto. That was the first time any computer had a graphic user interface with a mouse. But Xerox let it gather dust as they fervently believed that photocopiers were the way to go. In 1979, Mr. Steve Jobs visited PARC. There he saw the Alto. Steve Jobs was inspired, and many of Alto's design elements were incorporated into the later variants of the Apple computer. And Steve Jobs disrupted the business of personal computing. Moral of the story? Your past can unlock the future, but not necessarily your future. Reason number one, you start to recognize patterns in the evolution of your industry and decision-making cycles. Remember, iteration cycles are getting smaller and smaller. The only way to make sense of the world is to look at a longer epoch in time. You should not miss the woods for the trees. Reason number 2. Many potential disruption-inducing ideas are just reinterpretations of past bad ideas. Relevance changes with time, so look back and march forward may be a good thing. Now, reason number 3. Your past is transparent to others. Proliferation of communications and tech could be the culprits. So take ownership of your past before others do. You are in a matrix. There are 4 main sources. Source number 1, of course, historical data and trends. In allied industries as well, please. No rocket science here. Now, source number 2, your own team, both experienced and newbies, please. Source number 3, your competitors. Don't forget them. And source number 4, your own ecosystem. That means your partners, your board, your vendors, and finally, last but not the least, your customers as well. So with that, we have come to the end of another episode of Deep Dive. Thank you for being here. Please do share your thoughts. Of course, like, share, comment, and subscribe too. Thank you and see you soon. Goodbye.